Hi there, can you hear me okay? I'm just away to see if I can see myself here. Yeah, that's good. If you can hear me okay, can you give me a wee thumbs up, please? I'm just away to see if I can see myself here. Yeah, that's good. If you can hear me okay, can you give me a wee thumbs up, please? Hello, Sherry and Gina. How you doing? Good to see you. Waiting a few people coming on. I'm actually going to speak about, I get asked so many times about shamanism, and Happy New Year to you as well, Sherry. Lovely to see you, darling. Let me just turn this down. I'm echoing on myself here. And I get asked quite a few times about what is shamanism, and how does the shaman work, and how does shamanic healing work, and is it right for you? Do you know what I mean? Is it the right thing for you to do? So I thought, look, I'm going live and I'll have a wee look. And I've said to myself, this year I'm going to just talk about the practices that I use, just a wee bit more in depth. So let's go, shall we? So, what is shamanism? So the way everybody has shamanism, the term it the wrong way. No two shamans work exactly the same way, and I've worked and been trained by many, many what people call the shamans, and a shaman doesn't call themselves a shaman themselves. It's the community that calls the shamans. It's disrespectful to call yourself a shaman. It's the community that does it. So, and in the West, and I've been taught in the Western world, and I've been taught in the Amazon jungle, Peru, Asia, all these places as well, with real shamans and what have you. And really, I've come across a few people who've only had really one training. They call themselves shamans, and I just find that laughable, actually, quite disrespectful to the ancient culture, because I've had multitude of trainings at really advanced levels of the shamanic world, but I would never dream of calling myself a shaman at all, and I've seen many miracles happening before my eyes. I really have, when healing's happening within the person, whether it be in person or distantly. That healing, still even today, after everything that I've witnessed with my very own eyes, I'm still astonished at the accuracy of the healing, and of what the perceptions of the other person and the healer has. So shamanism is it's a brilliant spiritual practice that practices many arts of spiritual healing. It really does. From ancient times around the world, Buddhism and Christianity really come from the ancient roots of the shamanic culture, and still has some of the idealism of the shamanism within it. Shamanism is not formalized by a system of beliefs or an ideology. It's more, it's a group of activities and experiences that the shamans share in cultures around the world. And different cultures have different practices. And as I said, I've never really met two shamans or two therapists or practitioners or whatever you want to call yourselves work in the same way. Because people who practice shamanism really seek to be in the relationship with spirit of all things, and that's the spirit of your spirit guides, the energy of the spirit animals, your power animals, also the spirit of the plants. Really, you're the spirit of everything, and they will use the information and the guidance they receive from non-reality expectations. They really will. And many people consult practitioners for the practical solutions, really, to any problems that arise in everyday life, from professional challenges to personal illness to really a lot of family shit, ancestral issues, anything really. I mean, the things that I've looked at from a shamanic perspective, when I've worked with clients or students, and the things that I've seen or felt or have this knowing, and really how the shaman works is, uh, people who'd rather go from a work from a holistic viewpoint in their emotional and physical health, they would prefer to go to someone who's a shamanic practitioner, you know because the shamanic practitioner actually, when you see the indigenous, I can never say that word, indigenous culture, they go into a trance state, and they really, go into that other spirit realm. Um, but you don't have to do that. You don't really have to go into that. That you're away in another world. You are in another world because you're in the spirit world. But the thing is, I'm always the kind of therapist that, I'm in there and out there to get what's needed for whoever my client or my student is. And what'll happen is, usually the shaman will use a beat like drum, uh, or a rattle. I actually can use my heartbeat, because we've just been trained that well. Because when I was doing my training, also a lot of courses where I was basically the staff, or I would be facilitating the courses, you were having to make sure and contain the space. So I could actually go into a journey, and do the work that I needed to do. And if there was silence, if you're in meditation and what have you, and you needed to go in to do a shamanic thing, I could just use my heartbeat. Is that just zone into my heartbeat and just use that beat, the beat that you hear there, to go into that state, and I can do it very quickly. I'm very lucky that way, and I'm a very pessimistic person, believe it or not. I've got to have proof before I'll, one, believe, and two, to really see that it actually does work. And a good example I can give you of that, which blew my mind away, and it still blows my mind away, because I'll never have, if I hadn't experienced it, I would never have believed it. And it was when I was doing a course, and I was working with another girl, and let's just call her Karen. Just don't want to say what her name is. And I was working with Karen, and what we had to do, I don't know if anybody's heard of the CIA, where they go into, it's called spiritual tracking. And basically, what happens is they'll go into the spirit realm. If somebody's been abducted or what have you, or missing, they'll go into the spirit realm to see actually where that person is. So basically, what we had to do was, the first person would go into the spirit realm. They would hide in their spiritual, their realm. They wouldn't know words would be spoken, and the other person would come in maybe a minute to 90 seconds later and find them. And as I said, no words are spoken, and you had to do that with each person. And the bizarrest thing is both of us knew exactly where to go for the other one, which kind of really blew my mind away, because, as I say, no words were spoken, and that really got me. Yeah, there's definitely something here. And also the healings I would see, of people who had severe disabilities of anxiety, depression, suicide, obsessive, compulsive, disorders, lots of things I've seen. And when they've worked with the shamanic practitioner, they've dissolved, they've left. So it's a really wonderful, wonderful gift, the shamanic healing. And as I say, I've been trained all around the world with it, which I'm very, very lucky, to be honest. So how does the shamanic healing work? So when it comes to the shamanic healing, the shaman essentially works with the spirits, often called the helper spirits in the spirit realms, and they will summon these spirits to repair a soul. Now, that could be someone who, in the physical world, is, they've got CPTSD, they have dissociation, they have soul loss, which soul loss is dissociation. They may experience real physical pain. So in order for these spirits, the shaman will go what's called a shamanic journey. And what they'll do is going on that journey, as I say, they'll use a drum, a rattle, or they'll could use a heartbeat, as I say, like what I do. And the more they practice the training as a shaman, the easier it'll be for them, to enter a powerful state. I've did so many journeys and healings for other people, where the person said what they felt as if there's been energy getting sucked off their body. They felt that vacuum of whatever's is there is getting taken out of their body, and especially if they've got emotional pain there, and it'll just evaporate. It'll be a gradual, that a week later they'll just think, "Oh, I actually feel really, really good," and whatever they were suffering from will just go. It's amazing how it works. And the shaman allows the helper spirits to invoke the shamanic healing by pulling the power from the sufferer's oversoul, as well as retrieving the lost spirit, the guides or the animals. And basically also what they would do is you would, if it was a lost soul, you would have a soul retriever, you bring the soul back into the body, so people who've been through life-altering trauma, whether mental or physical, may have lost that part of the soul that is damaged, their spiritual force field. Yeah. And this makes them vulnerable to illness, bad luck, depression. And these are the kinds of people who would most benefit from the shamanic healing session. They really would. And a shaman will go into the spirit world and heal their soul, either through their own efforts or by talking to the spirit guides and animals. And sometimes what happens with it when I do this, and as I say, everybody's different. There's no two ways that people work the same. And what I will get is I will have, when I go into the realm of the person's energy to retrieve souls and what have you, is I'll either get images, I will get feelings, or I will get like words, quotes, some things that make no sense to me whatsoever. And sometimes I'll even say, Chris, I'm not saying that, it looks stupid. But I always give over the information that I get, and it always resonates with them, the information, and it just blows me away, because most of the time, how am I going to know what that information is without through other invisible means, we'll say. So I know a lot of times people say to me, is shamanic healing for me though? Is it right for me? So, and what I always say, if you're feeling a bit lost in life, if you've gone through a big trauma, or you're looking for some clarity, what to do about a difficult situation, or a shamanic healing would be hugely beneficial for you. A shaman will simply act as a connection between you and your guides in the other realms. What I find using the shamanic healing as well is if there's been grief, and because what I find with a lot of people in my practice, in my office, my clinic, whatever, with clients is generally when you trace back to, if there's behavioral issues, there's emotional issues, there's even physical pain, there's all these kind of things which I write about in my book, An Empath's World to Power, sorry, to Freedom. Don't even know the name of the book now. And basically, I write about all that in there, what the emotions are doing to the body and what you feel within the body is what I find is with grief is when we trace back, I'll ask quite a few questions and where they felt it started. When did they start feeling there was a difference? Some people don't even know. We've got to put them in a trance state before we can get, or I've got to do the shamanic healing journey to find out more. Because a lot of people block things out. They don't understand that that's their psyche trying to protect them. Yeah. So basically, what I find is usually if you've got unresolved grief, you haven't dealt with that grief. If you've allowed that grief and just chucked it down, because you're scared to look at it because you would have that overwhelming sadness or tears and all that kind of thing. It's what I find is when we go back to the first instance of that grief when it happened, and we actually connect the crossed over person to the person, because a lot of times it's because there's either forgiveness needs to be done, there's anger for them leaving them. I know this only too well with my mum and my best pal leaving. I was very angry at the two of them, which is really stupid actually, because it was a shame how they went. But it was still unresolved. So even me knowing what I know, I still had all that in there. And what will happen is, if you don't resolve it, if you don't look at it, if you don't deal with it, it comes up in other things later on in life. That could be through emotional pain, physical pain, limiting behaviors, psychosis. There's so many things that can come up back into. And then when you go back right to that root, connect, and sometimes when you're doing a shamanic journey is if say for instance, if it's your mother or your partner and they come forward, they would give me something to give that person. And sometimes I actually think, what the hang is this? Doesn't mean anything to me at all, but it totally means something to the person. And you can actually just see and as you do this, you can actually just see the energy of the person. It just becomes so light. It's like this release happens. It's really weird to explain it, but it's as if someone's just gave them a good clean over and sparkled their energy up, because it's just like somebody's lifted something off their shoulder, threw it away. It's like that, and their life changes. Their life really does change, and that's what I say. If you need healing, if the shamanic healing's right for you, it doesn't fit everyone. However, it does fit a lot of people, because the shaman's really just acting as the bridge between you and your guides and the other realms. They really are, and they make sure your soul's protected throughout the process. So there's some physical sensations maybe felt, but it's all the interest of healing your soul. Some people, what they tend to say is they'll feel a surge of either emotion, they'll feel a surge of a vibration within the energy. Sometimes they feel as if something's been lifted off them. It's like a release, or they'll have visions that they'll see things if they're that way inclined. And really, some people opt for healing themselves. Some people, which I'm all for. The truth is, anyone can take a shamanic journey. They can do a shamanic healing journey, but it's a matter of training yourself, you know, getting into the right state and knowing what to do once you're in all those other worlds in the shamanic journey, you know, and everybody can do it. Every single person can do it. Which brings me on to the shamanic course that's happening. I think it is the let me just see, the 22nd, 25th, sorry, of January till the 30th, to the 29th, 25th to the 20th, from Monday to the Friday. It's a new moon, or is it yes, I think it is the new moon or a full moon. Can't remember which one it is. But anyway, I'm doing the shamanic sanctuary, and I'm doing 3 courses throughout the year. The shamanic sanctuary is in January. The advanced certified shamanic practitioner course, which is in 22nd of February to the 26th of February. And I'm also doing a soul retrieval practitioner, certified soul retrieval practitioner, which will all be online. And if anybody that's watching who's done my courses, please say something in the comments to let people know that you get a lot of value from what I do in my courses. Absolutely loads of value. If anybody would like to, let me see, where am I? Here I am. So if anybody would like to know any more about that, the shamanic courses, if you could take all 3 of them, you get a huge discount. And what I'll maybe do is I have something. If you go over to my website, I don't think I've put it on my website yet, but it will be going on there the next few days about that. It's a really powerful, you will learn so much from it, because the level of techniques and the information that'll be on there is coming from your real shamans, you know. And if anybody's watching this who is on my membership platform, the Spiritual Alchemy membership sanctuary, it's a monthly membership, they get this also within the membership platform. And I think there's about 10, 12 courses in there already, certified courses. There's a certified angelic healing course. There's a manifestation course. There's there's so much. I can't remember. Meditation sanctuary. There's a protection grounding sanctuary. There's just so much material in there, and you get all that for £47 per month, and is massive value for money, because these courses are, I think the first one I'm doing is 22nd is 497, but if you actually get it before, I think it's the 14th of January, if you book it before that, you get it half price. Yeah, then it goes up to the full price. And it goes the same with the other ones as well, I think. But I haven't got it on my website yet, but it will go on this thing if you even if you're watching this on replay. So thank you, guys. I'm going to be coming on every day. To my students, let me see who's in a. Oh, thank you, Sybil. Mind-blowing stuff. Great to hear it. Imagine otherworldly. Yes, they are sharing. Guys, can you just tell me, does this look better doing it this way, with having the coach and spiritual teacher? This is you can also have a free light workers toolkit if you go over to my website, annebarney.com, and you'll get a light workers toolkit there as well, free of charge. It doesn't cost anything. Guys, who's on the students, does this look better as opposed to just doing it live on Facebook? Let me know in the comments, guys. I'm just trying out a few other techniques to see what is I'm getting a thumbs up, so that's good. I'm getting a thumbs up. Good, good. No, that's good. Glad to hear it. About tomorrow, I'll be talking about a wee bit more shamanic stuff tomorrow. I'll probably be doing that all this month, but saying that though, I'll be doing other things. It looks good. Thanks, Sybil. Thank you. And so I look forward to have a lovely evening. And I start my my health and personal self-development and oh, so many things I start on Monday. My life book, my health coach, and I just can't wait to get back into it because uh, sometimes what happens is when we kind of take a wee bit of time off, we tend to, go out the zone and what have you, and just take that wee bit of time to ourselves. So now it's time to get back, in there. I feel like I've been away from my lives for a wee while now because obviously of creating and writing my book and what have you. So, so guys, speak to you later. Lovely to that you've joined here, and anybody that doesn't know me, I'm Anne Varney. I'm a business coach and spiritual teacher, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.